Hi there, thanks for coming in to another episode of the OUA Basketball Show. My name's Griffin Porter. I'm so happy that you've joined me today to talk some OUA basketball. We've got a great guest coming up later in the show, but first I want to talk about the games that happened last week. A tough week for the Western Mustangs women's team, who had been undefeated but picked up their first loss of their season and then immediately picked up their second loss as well. They were running that tough Ottawa weekend, and they're now sitting at 6-2, but a big midweek win for the Griffins women over McMaster, so they stay undefeated, and they stake their claim to the top of the OUA West Division. Congratulations to the undefeated Guelph Griffins. On the men's side, every other team in the OUA East, they're playing the Blues right now. The U of T varsity Blues, big road wins over Nipissing and Laurentian. They're on fire. They're now 7-2 on the season, top in the OUA East. A big shout out to the varsity Blues, as well as the Lakehead Thunderwolves, who split their homestand with MAC this weekend. And speaking of the Lakehead Thunderwolves, that brings me to today's guest. Michael Okafor was kind enough to join us on the show. So without any further ado, here's the interview with Michael Okafor. So I'm joined by our first ever active OUA player to join the OUA basketball show, Michael Okafor. Thank you so much for coming on. It's really great to have you.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you reached out. We talked about Lakehead on the show last week. You were really nice about it. You reached out. You were happy that we talked about it. So lucky that this came to be, and you're coming off a 24-point performance last week. Lakehead now sitting at 6-2. And I was just wondering, I thought we'd start off for like some of the viewers who haven't been able to catch a Lakehead game yet this year. Like, how would you define your play style? How do you win your games?
We're like a fast-paced team. We win our games mostly by like locking in on defense, and I'll say like defense is really our focal point. You know, if our defense gets rolling, then we're gonna hit shots and we're comfortable. You know.
Yeah, you're obviously one of the best defensive players in the country, in my opinion. And I'm not the only. Sorry.
I said thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm not the only one who thinks that. Your head coach, when you played in the CBL this year, Ryan Schmidt, he also really complimented your defense. And I was just wondering, like, how did that experience? Obviously, not every OUA player gets the experience to play pro in the summer, but for you, like, how do you think that has like affected you coming into this season?
It affected me in like a lot of ways, like getting to practice with like some vets, some high level guys like Caleb Gata, Kobe, and Vitel, you know, see how they prep for games, how they are in practice, and also just like being around them is like, it's really good to learn off them. And like coming to the season, I just like piggyback on every little lesson I got from that team and everyone who helped and just bring it here, you know, it helped a lot.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's showing up in your play this year. You're looking better than ever. You did come into the OUA a few years ago. You had that NCAA experience, and I mean, we see a lot of NCAA players joining the OUA, I think more so than ever, but they don't always go to Lakehead. I was just wondering, what made you choose the Thunder Bay and Lakehead?
It was like a lot of like variables, like, oh, do I want to like stay home like in the Toronto GTA?
Yeah.
I want to go away, and it was just literally just about like trust and comfortability for me. Like, I just wanted to go somewhere where I can play and like not have to worry about like a lot of stuff. And I thought Lakehead is a place for that. And you know, I chose the right school by coming here.
Yeah, I mean, it's showing in the standings right now. I think you chose the right school for sure. But it is a case sometimes where you guys are 6-2. Like, you're having a great season. You made a great playoff run last year. But I think, and even on this show, we've been guilty of it too. A lot of the talk is the Ottawa teams, the Toronto teams. Do you think, like, do you guys have a sense up there, maybe because of the location or maybe just because you're a smaller university, that sometimes you don't really get the respect you deserve? Is that a part of the team mentality?
Yeah, but we try to like stay out of that. Like, yeah, we know we're in Thunder Bay. Like, not many Toronto people like know where Thunder Bay is, right? So it's like,
Right.
Okay, we know we're far away. We know we're a small university, but if we could just keep doing what we're doing, we're gonna get that recognition. So I think everyone just buys in like team win and like think that's what we're gonna keep doing and keep building.
Yeah, I'm sure that like smaller school and smaller town though, like there must be a real great community around this team. Like you must feel that from the students and the people at Thunder Bay.
Yeah, Thunder Bay Lake has like the best OUA fans ever. Like every night is packed, like screaming, like the kids are here. It's really great over here.
Yeah, I think another example, you chose the right school. And just before you go, because I know you've got a long travel day ahead of you, you were telling me you guys got to fly down to Western to play the Mustangs, and then you play Windsor on Saturday. So a lot of traveling going on. You guys, of course, when you're on the road, the travel might be a bit of a disadvantage, but when you're at home, teams got to go a long way to come play you. How do you think the travel like impacts your team? That's sort of a unique thing to you guys.
I think it helps us, and also I think it's both ways. Like when we gotta go travel, we're pretty much doing the same thing. We gotta travel. We play 2 games back to back. But also when they come over here, it's cold.
Yeah.
They probably gotta leave the day before. Then they got like kids and like a lot of like folks over here heckling them. So it's like it works both ways. But I think if we can really dominate, like if we can really be great on the road, we'll really be a great team. That's how I feel. Because at home, we got it done. We can take care of business.
Yeah, like you said, that great home court. A lot of factors, the fans building into that great home court advantage. Well, if you haven't had the chance to watch Lakehead play yet this season, and you're looking through the schedule, I would highly recommend it. They're a lot of fun to watch, and they're playing some great basketball. And I'm pretty sure you'll get the chance to see them in the playoffs, if nothing else. Early, I know. But Mike, thanks so much for coming on the show today. I really appreciate it. I will let you get to the airport, but yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
A big thank you again to Mike Okafor, and I mean it, guys. Try and watch some Lakehead. I know that they're up in Thunder Bay, but they've got a really good game against Windsor on Saturday. You'll be glad to watch it. You aren't going to quite get that home Lakehead experience, so you should watch a home game as well. But that Saturday game against Windsor is going to be a good one. TMU plays Queens on the men's side on Friday. I really like that matchup. I think that's going to be fun one. I'm probably leaning Gales there, but I think the Bold are going to give them a really good run for their money. And not to double dip, I know I do that once in a while, but I also am going to be watching the women's game between those two schools as well. On Saturday, I think I'm going to be tuned in to Sarah Gates against Lauren Golding as McMaster goes to York. Two of the best players in the province going head-to-head there. I think that'll be fun. And, of course, as I mentioned, Lakehead Windsor, Saturday. Thank you guys so much for watching this week's episode of the OUA Basketball Show. My name's Griffin Porter. Enjoy the games this weekend.